Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Shri Radhe. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. I think Lal Gopal Prabhuji has joined, right? Okay, yeah.
Shri Krishna Balaram Nitai Gaur Nata Raj Ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Did you also do the Jai Radha Madhava?
No, Prabhuji, just Hare Krishna Kirtan.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodha Nandana Vrajajana Ranjan, Yashodha Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Gaja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Pranam ki. So you're all able to hear me on the Zoom? In the Zoom? Okay. So we are going to do Canto 1, Chapter 6, text number 31. Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum Sasivarnam Chadbhujam, Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet, Sarva Vigno Pashanti, Yasyatma Bhutasya Guru Prasadhat, Aham Vimuktoshmi Sharira Bandhat, Sarvopadeshtu Purushottamasya, Tasyan Gri Padma Pranatosmi Nityam. Prahalada, Narada, Parasara, Pundarika, Vyasamrasha, Sukha, Saunaka, Bhishma, Dhalbhyan, Rukmanga, Udava, Vibhishna, Palgunadin, Punyanimam, Parama Bhagavatam Namami. Janmadi Asya Yato Anvayad Idara Sarcha, Arteshu Abhignya Swarat, Tene Brahma Hradaya Adi Avaye Mukshyantiyaha Surayaha. Tejo Vari Mritam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisa, Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuham Satyam Param Dhimahi. Nihama Kalpatoror Khalitam Palam Sukamukad Amridam Dhruva Samyuktam Bibata Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayadi Asu Vairagam Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Shamanastam Namami Harim Param Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are on Canto 1, Chapter 6, the conversation between Narada Muni and Vyasadeva, where Vyasadeva is inquiring about Narada Muni's past life and his credentials. And this particular sloka, sloka number 31, is a self-glorification, if you would categorize into where this belongs to. It's very interesting in our teachings that we should not be glorifying ourselves. You know how great I am, Prabhu, right? I know this, I know that, I'm so and so, I've been there, I've been here, etc. People never used to come forward to tell what they are. It's a self-glorification. Couple of days back, Sachipran Prabhu, the birthday was there, and then I asked him, he's sitting right in front of me, but I have to tell this one. I told him that please sing some song and post it in our group. He refused to do that out of humility, then he sent me few songs, which is amazing to see how talented he was in singing and many things. He was a great chess player. He played with Mr. Anand, Vishwanath Anand. Yeah, so he knows so many people and very qualified person, but then he was not wanting to show where he's coming from. That's how devotees are generally. But to that surprise, Narada Muni is telling, you know how I am, you know how great I am. That's quite surprising. Of all the great devotees, Narada to be considered to be the most humble person. But here he seemed to be talking in this particular verse, you know how great I am, that he's going to tell this. Let's get into in what mode and how he's telling that and how to take this particular sloka into our practice. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Antar Bhagischa Lokam Strin.
Antar Bhagishta Lokam.
One more time. I'll tell 2 times each line and then we can sing. Antar Bhagischa Lokam Strin. One more time.
Antar Bhagishta Lokam Strin.
Paryabhyaskandita Vritaha. Paryabhyaskandita Vritaha. Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Avigata Gati Kvachit.
Avigata Gati Kvachit.
Avigata Gati Kvachit.
Avigata Gati Kvachit.
Antar Bhagischa Lokam Strin.
Antar Bhagishta Lokam Strin.
Paryabhaskandita Vritaha. Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Avigata Gati Kvachit.
Avigata Gati Kvachit.
You want anyone?
Antar
Bhagischa Lokam Strin. Paryabhaskanda Vritaha. Anugrahan Mahavishnu. Ati Gati Kvachit.
Antar Bhagishta Lokam Strin.
Antar Bhagischa Lokam Strin.
Viskandita Vrataha.
Paryabhaskandita Vritaha. Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Avigata Gati Kvachit.
Avigata Gati Kvachit. Anyone on the online? Oh, Sachipran Prabhu, you want to? Okay. Online, anyone? Maybe one person? To keep you all.
Antarbahishcha lokam strin.
Antar Bhagischa Lokam Strin.
Paryemyashkandita vrataha.
Paryabhaskandita Vritaha.
Anugrahan mahavishnu.
Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Avigata gati kvachit.
Avigata Gati Kvachit. Maybe one Mataji can do it. Come on.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can do it once again. Where is the okay? Antar Bahishcha Lokam Strin.
Antar Bhagischa Lokam Strin.
Paryemyashkandita Vrataha.
Paryabhaskandita Vritaha.
Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Anugrahan Mahavishnu.
Avigata Gati Kvachit.
Avigata Gati Kvachit. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Let's go to the word by word meaning and then the translation and purport. Antaha in the transcendental world. Bahihi in the material world. Cha and. Anta Bahihi. Lokan planets. Three divisions. Paryebhya travel. Askandita unbroken. Vrataha vow. Anugrataha by the causeless mercy. Mahavishnu of the Mahavishnu. Karanadokshaya Vishnu. Avigata without restriction. that is no obstacles or no hindrance. Gatihi, entrance, kvachit, at any time, that's anywhere. Translation, since then, by the grace of the Almighty Vishnu, I travel everywhere without restriction, both in the transcendental world and in the three divisions of the material world. Pause. And then think about it. He's talking, this is where he tells that I can travel anywhere and everywhere, no restrictions for me. No one are going to ask me any sort of visa or anything, entry. Then it connects saying that this is because I'm fixed in unbroken devotional service of the Lord. And because of that. So that means if we also have a devotional service which is unbroken, we can also start flying, become a Superman, flying all over different planets, different places. Here, this term, before we go into this, antar bahischa is not an alien words terms here, because we know this one. Antar means outside, bahis means inside. So he's saying that he can enter outside or also enter inside, different lokas. He can go and come anywhere, wherever, however he wants. It's exactly like how in Narayana Suktam, it is said that Sagasrasirisham Devam Vishwaksham Vishwasambhuvam Vishwam Narayanam Devam Aksharam Paramam Prabhum Vishwada Paramam Nityam Vishwam Narayana Gumharim Narayana Param Tattvam Narayana Paraha Narayana Paro Jyotiratma Narayana Paraha Yatkijit Jagatyasmin Drishyate Suyate Piva Antar Bhagischatat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Stitah Antar Bhagischatat Tarvam Tat Tharvam. Vyapya Narayana Sitaha. Antar Bhagischa. You see the same thing is there also in the Upanishads. Antar Bhagischa. He is inside and he is outside. Both places. Simultaneously. Who? Narayana. Vyapya Stitaha. He is situated everywhere in both inside and outside. But the difference over here is Narada cannot do that one. Narada cannot be simultaneously in all places. Okay. But he can be in multiple places without any problem at any given point of time. That's the important thing that we should understand, because that makes a difference between how the Lord pervades everywhere. Lord can pervade everywhere, but a Jivatma cannot pervade everywhere. Cannot pervade everywhere. It can be in one place only. Lokan. So that's the point. Now, the way that I would like to do this particular session, the class, is I divided the purport into 4 parts because these purports are so beautiful. Prabhupada has given such a beautiful purport. So we are going to go to each of this part and understand what Prabhupada is trying to say in this part. 4 parts. Okay. So we're not going to read the entire purport. We'll say purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai. So we'll go by purport by part by part of this purport and analyze and understand this. So the first part of the purport. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, there are 3 divisions of the material sphere, namely the Urdhva Loka, topmost planets, Madhya Loka, midway planet, and Adho Loka, the downward planets. Beyond the Urdhva Loka planets, that is to say, above the Brahma Loka, or the material coverings of the universes. And above that is the spiritual sky, which is unlimited in expansion, containing unlimited self-eliminated Vaikuntha planets inhabited by God himself, along with his associates, who are all eternally liberated living entities. We'll pause there. Right. The first thing comes into mind is, Prabhupada says here, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, there are 3 divisions of material spheres. The first thing is that we have to go back to Bhagavad Gita and see where in Bhagavad Gita it's been told about these 3 planets. 3 planets means there's 14 planets. Okay, it's divided into 3. We'll see about that very short. Unless and until we read Prabhupada's purport, even that is not clear in Bhagavad Gita. That's the truth. That's the truth. It is not explicitly, very clearly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita in the slokas that this is upper planet, this is middle planet, this is here and there are slokas, by the way. It's not that it's not there. Some of the slokas are from where Krishna is asking the seconds, mention some of the slokas where he mentions about different planets. Aishwaryam Akirti Karam Arjuna. He says, Kutastvam Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Jushtam Aishwaryam Akirti Karam Arjuna. He says, where did you get this impurity in your mind? Because of that, you know what's going to happen? This is not going to lead you to the higher planet. Higher planet. That means there are other planet besides the planet that we are in. That's a clue has been given over there. Next is in the second chapter, 32nd sloka. It says, Swargadwaram avapritam. Edirchaya chopapannam Swargadwaram apapritam. Sukinaha kshatriyaha partha labante yuddham idrisham. He said, you be happy as a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas will be happy when they get an opportunity to fight. By doing so, the doors to the heavens are open for them. That's what. Swargadwaram avapratam. And then he goes on to the 37th sloka. Atova papsyasi prapsyasi swargam jitvava vokshesi mahim. He says that either you fight and die and go back to heaven, or you win and take the kingdom. That's another mention of Swargaloka over here, higher planetary system. And this famous sloka everyone knows in the 8th chapter of Abrahma Bhuvanal Lokan. Brahman. That's where in this chapter, only after so many chapters, it takes to the level of above this Swargaloka. Until that point, everything is Swargaloka, Swargaloka, Swargaloka. Beyond that, in the 8th chapter, it's a Brahmaloka. Oh, there's something called Brahmaloka. That's mentioned over there. Even if we go to the topmost planet of Brahmaloka, you got to return back here and this is well. Yam prapena nivartante tadhamam paramam mama. This is again from 8th chapter, 21st loka, where he says when you attain that particular loka, you would not return back again. And then the 15th chapter, 6th loka. Natad basete suryaha na sashanko na pavakaha. Yad gatva nivartante tadhama paramam mama. You go to that dhamma of mine, don't worry about it, which is free of artificial lights. Natad basete suryaha. Even Surya will become dull over there. That place you come, you will not have to return back into this world. Through this some verses, we can understand and get some glimpse of there are different planets besides the planet that we are in. And just by reading the slokas, it's just going to be a little challenging of these things. Now, we're going to see Prabhupada in his purport in Urdhva Lokam. He said Madhya Lokam, Adho Lokam. Urdhva means upward. Madhya means middle, center part. And Adho means downward. That Urdhva Pundram means what the Urdhva Pundram means? The tilak that we keep is upward. That's why you should not keep tilak from top to bottom. That is not Urdhva Pundram, Adho Pundram then. We should always go upward. That means we are elevating our consciousness upward. You're elevating consciousness upward. Yeah, I'll stop there, right? I just don't want to talk anything contradictory of different types of tilaks that we have on what does that mean. So it might create disturbance to people's minds. So let's continue here. Urdhva Loka means that planet which is upward. So we all are quite familiar that there are 14 planetary systems. In the 14 planetary system, there are 6 which is up and 7 which is down. Why 6 I'm telling and 7? Because that one we are in is Bhuloka. We can also include that one as a Loka. Then it comes 7 and 7. For the simplicity to cover this purport, then we categorize into 3. The way, the 2 ways that we can categorize is that we can say 6 plus 1 plus 7. Yes? 6 on the top, 1 is where we are, and then 7 in the bottom. Another way we can categorize is 4, 3, 7. 4 in the top, 3, that is Bhu, Bhur, Swarga. That all into one category, and then the other talas, 7 talas goes down. This is another way of how to divide this one. And then the lokas at 7 above us, Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Swargaloka, Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and then Satyaloka. These are all in the top. And there are all living entities, living beings at different grades are there. Everyone is there. And then, for example, Bhuvarloka, the Gandharvas are residing in the Bhuvarloka. Swargaloka, Indra and parties are residing there. Maharaloka, and those who have completed their service period during the Swargaloka, they get elevated to the Maharaloka, like that. Janaloka, where Sanakadi means all the Sanakat Kumara and they are there. Tapaloka, Prajapati, Satyaloka, led by Brahma, headed by Brahma, and many others are living there. And Adholoka, we'll come to the Madhya part later. We'll go to the down now. Down Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. There are also living entities living in this 7 talas. We should not think these talas are hell, by the way. Sometimes people think because it's down, they think hell. Patala means it's hell. It's not so. There are, even in talas, the 7, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, there are places which is as good as heaven. As good as heaven. For example, in Patala, which is also sometimes called as Nahaloka. Nahaloka. It's a most beautiful place that one can imagine over there. And of course, Sutala is the place where Bali Maharaj also is there. So we can understand Lord is not going to put someone down in a worst place, right? So these are the talas, patalas. And now, each of these talas are 100. Now we are going to get to the math to understand this. 1 yojana, it's all calculated in yojanas. When you see even Hanuman in Ramana, it says Hanuman jumped 100 yojanas. So sometimes 1 yojana, they say it's 8 miles. Sometimes it is said as 10 miles, whatever convenient. For our math to be easy, let's keep it as 10 miles, right? So 1 yojana equal to 10 miles. So each of these tala is 100,000 yojanas wider. 100,000 yojanas wider. That means that means you can just 800 or 1 million, whatever you say, yojana. Now we covered the urdhvam, we covered the ato. Now we have to talk about the central part, madhya. There are a lot of information is given about this madhya, that is bhuloka. I'm just keeping specifically to bhuloka only. Bhuloka. This bhuloka is in a circle, centric circle. Different circles are there, and it has islands, 7 islands: Jambu Dvipa, Plaksha Dvipa, and then Shalmali Dvipa, Kusha Dvipa, Kwancha Dvipa, and then Shaka Dvipa and Pushkara Dvipa. These are the dvipas, and each of these dvipas, Jambu Dvipa, and then after there is an ocean, river. After Jambu Dvipa, then Plaksha Dvipa, there is an ocean. After that ocean, Salmali Dvipa, there is an ocean. And then Kusha Dvipa, there is an ocean. Krauncha Dvipa, ocean. Shaka Dvipa, ocean. Pushkara Dvipa, then ocean. What type of ocean? After Jambu Dvipa, the water that found there, it is of salty water. Salty water. Plaksha Dvipa, and then after Plaksha Dvipa. And the Plaksha Dvipa, and the next layer is again water. That is sugarcane juice water. Sugarcane juice water. And then after the Plaksha Dvipa and the sugarcane juice water, then Shalmali Dvipa, where it has liquor, just a liquor of ocean. And then Kusha Dvipa. After Kusha Dvipa, the ocean that is of ghee. After Kusha Dvipa, Krauncha Dvipa, and then after that, curd. A layer, you have to just imagine the layer, curd. And after that curd ocean, then comes Shaka Dvipa, and then after that, milk, Svetam, milk, white in color, milk. And then after the Pushkara, the next one is just a clear, fresh water. Very clear, fresh water. These are the dvipas in the Bhuloka. But in the dvipa that we are quite connected to, out of all this dvipa, is the first one, which is called Jambu Dvipe. This Jambu Dvipe has, inside that, there are 9 varshas, 9 parts around the the Bhuloka. In the center has a very big mountain called Meru Parvatam, Meru mountain. This Meru mountain is 1 million yojanas tall. 1 million yojanas, right? It's in the center. Around this Meru mountain, in different north, south, east, west, and different places, these different varshas are there. Different parts of the Jambu Dweepas are there. Right? And in one of that varsha is called Bharata Varsha. Bharata Varsha. That's not it. Inside the Bharata Varsha, there are many, many kandas are there. One of the kandam is called Bharata Kandam. Bharata Varsha, Bharata Kandam. In Bharata Kanda, there are many continents are there. In those many continents, one of that is North America. In the North America, we are in America. In America, we are in the Midwest. In the Midwest, we are in Missouri. In the Missouri, we are in St. Louis. In St. Louis, we are in St. Louis County. In St. Louis County, we are in Krishna Balaram Mandir. Inside this, there's one person giving class, thinking he is great. This is what Prabhupada says. When Tamal Krishna Maharaj conversation happened with Prabhupada Maharaj, Prabhupada says the same sequence, this whole Brahmanda. And then finally he brings to this one and he says, this person, nothing in compared to the big creation, and he is thinking he is great. Where is he in this whole creation? Nothing. It's like a mustard seed. Now coming back to this one, the Jambu Dweepa is of 100,000 yojanas. The width of Jambu Dweepa is 100,000 yojanas. Same the size of that salty water, 100,000 yojanas width. That becomes together 200,000 yojanas. Now the next one is Plakshadweepa, is double of that one. That is 200,000 yojanas of land and 200,000 yojanas of sugarcane water. Double that of Plakshadweepa is Shalmali Dweepa. That is 400,000 yojanas of land, 400,000 yojanas of liquor. And the next comes is Kushadweepa, 800,000 yojanas of land, 800,000 yojanas of ghee water, ghee ocean. And then the 1.6 million yojanas of land of Kraunchadweepa and 1.6 million of curd ocean. Then 3.2 million of land for Shaka Dweepa, and the milk is of 3.2 million likewise. Lastly, Pushkara Dweepa. Pushkara Dweepa is 6.4 million land and 6.4 million. You don't need to memorize all this thing, but we are going to come to the point of why we are talking all this thing, connecting to the sloka. 6.4 million of the fresh water. So you can see, we saw upward 7 lokas, did we? We saw the 7 slokas. We saw talas, and we picked one of the lokas called Bhuloka. Now we are going to sidewise. Up, down, and sideways. What's the sideways? We see the dweepas, and how they are covered. And we only saw the Jambu Dweepa, the 2. Jambu Dweepa. And then with the Jambu Dweepa, then we went to the next Dweepa. And these are the 7 Dweepas in the Bhuloka. That we must be thinking that, okay, very good. Now that is called universe, one universe, right? 14 planetary system, what we saw together is called universe, one eggshell, right? That's not it. That's not it. What happens above the Brahmaloka? What happens on the side of Pushkara, that fresh water? What is after that? And what is above Brahmaloka and what is below Patala Loka? Is interesting to know that after that point, after the Pushkara and then after the fresh water, there is a land called Kanchana Bhumi. Kanchana means gold. Kanchana Bhumi. Kanchana Bhumi is the twice the size of all the dweepas and water put together. Whatever the numbers we saw, add everything together and double the size of that is the width of this Kanchana Bhumi. It's full of gold. Now don't message me on the side, please give me the address. Gold, right? That is 50,800,000 miles, yojanas. 50,800,000 800,000 yojanas is the width of Kanchana Bhumi. Kanchana Bhumi. What's after that? After Kanchanapurna, there is a mountain surrounded this sphere. But you have to imagine this is all in a circle, right? It's all in the circle. We saw Bhuloka. In the Bhuloka, there is a Meru. In the Meru bottom, Jambudvipa. We are seeing this Jambudvipa, Plakshadvipa, Shalmali, Kusha, Krauncha, Shaka, and then Pushkara. We saw this. And what is after Pushkara? The water. Everything has a water. That after that water, this called what is it? Kanchana. Kanchana Bhumi. This Kanchana Bhumi is 50.8 million. After that comes a mountain. The mountain is fully surrounded the circle. Loka Aloka Parvata. It's a huge mountain surrounded. That mountain is 10,000 yojanas. 10,000 yojanas. What is after that Loka mountain? It's a place of darkness. After the Loka mountain, it's tamas. It's called tamas. It's been completely dark. The area of darkness, completely dark. How big is that? The distance between the Meru and to the Loka, whatever the distance is, that distance is the width of this tamas. That is 126.75 million yojanas. We are talking about still not finished with the one universe yet. Okay. Right. We have this fresh water. After fresh water, Kanchana mountain, Loka. After Aloka, this darkness, completely dark place. That is 126.75 million. What's after that? Then comes the shell. The shell, egg, like a shell. But between this edge of the tamas and then the inner surface of this shell, please focus. It may be maybe boring, I don't know. But inner surface of this shell and the shore of the tamas, there is a space. There is a space. And the space is of muddy water. Muddy water. Now, when you see, especially when you see there's a heavy rain, after the rain stops, when you get out of it, there's a road and there is a water. In between, there'll be a muddy water. Muddy water. Gardhodaka. That place is called Gardhodaka. That is self 2.3 million yojanas. Inner surface and the tamas, the space between that is called Gardhodaka. That space is a muddy water. 2.3 million yojanas. An interesting additional point. When Varaha Avatar happens, Mother Bhuma Devi, was taken by Hiranyaksha and he hid her under the ocean. Which ocean? Ocean is in the Mother Earth. Ocean is in the earth, right? So where is he going to take the earth and hide Mother Earth? Because the ocean is there in the earth only. And this is the place he hid. Plus, imagine the power of Hiranyaksha. He traveled all the way from Bhuloka, this place. He took Mother Earth and passed through all these different places and came to Gardhodaka. Gardhodaka is where near the inner surface of Gardhodaka, the shell, it will be thick mud and water little away. So he pushed the earth over there in that muddy area. That's where he hid Mother Earth. And that's where Varaha Dev came, took Mother Earth, killed this Hiranyaksha. So anyway, now we saw this Gardhodaka is of 2.3 million. And then start the Andam. Andam means egg, the shell. That is the shell, covers everything. This is called one universe. This one Anda Kadaha. This one Anda is called one universe. Now is the interesting point. The thickness, the wall, the thickness of the Anda, the shell, right? The shell should have a thickness. The thickness is 10 million yojanas. Just the thickness of the shell, the eggshell of this universe is 10 million yojanas. 10 million yojanas. We are all into this egg. somewhere sitting here and trying to do so many different things here. And the creation happens, right? Oh, here's one more thing. What is after Anda? So one egg is there, one universe is there, right? What is after that? By the way, it's not just one universe. There are unlimited universes, all of same configuration, unlimited universe. And how do they get created? Monday, 10 universe. Krishna decides Monday I will my production. Sunday is I'm very tired. I cannot produce many, so I'll only produce 10 universe. Monday, little okay, 20 universe. Tuesday I'm getting active now. Let me produce 100 universe. It's not like that. Creation, all universe, the creation of all universe happens at the same time. The destruction happens at the same time. We know Prakrita Pralaya, Naimitika Pralaya, Adyantika Pralaya, Naimitika Pralaya, Nitya Pralaya, Prakrita Pralaya. 4 types of pralayas are there. The main pralaya which happens, everything is finished, everything goes inside the Lord, everything comes out of the Lord at the same time. It's not different. Okay. Now the questions comes, what after the Andam? Andam is this egg. Is there anything after that? Yeah, there are. That is what Prabhupada in his purport, it's all related to the purport, by the way. Don't think I'm going out of the topic. Prabhupada says Urdhva Loka, Madhya Loka, and then he said Adho Loka, and then he says that's covered by the material covering. All these are covered by the material covering. What is that material covering? We saw one universe, right? Now, after that, what is the material covering? Every Anda that we saw, let's take one Andam as an example, one universe. This Anda is covered by water, surrounding it, water. Water is 10 times the width of that Anda. We already saw Andam is 10 million yojana. 10 times the size of that Anda is the width of the water that covers all the Anda. That is 100 million yojanas. Just water after that. What's after that? Fire. 10 times the size of water. The width. That is 1 billion. Just fire covers after the water. Akasha. That is 10 times of what we saw as a fire. That is 10 billion or 100 billion. And then comes Ahankara, covered by Ahankara. The water is covered by fire, fire is covered by air is covered by Ahankara. Ahankara is 10 times the width of air, which is 100 billion. And then Mahat Tattva, Mahan or Mahat Tattva covers. Ahankara is covered by Mahat Tattva. That is 10 trillion. That's 10 times of Ahankara. And lastly, Mula Prakriti. The root of all this thing is Prakriti, Pradhana or Prakriti. What is the size of that should be? Now you all know the calculation. What is that? The water is 10 times of Anda, and then fire is 10 times of water, air is 10 times of fire, Akasha is 10 times of air, and Ahankara is 10 times of Akasha, and then Mahat Tattva is 10 times of Ahankara. That means the final one, which is Prakriti, what is that should be? That is what? Wrong. When it comes to Prakriti, so what is the size of Prakriti? By the calculation, it should lead us to the same answer. 10 times of Mahat, Mahan, should be the size of Prakriti, but that's not the answer. How the spiritual world cannot be measured. Likewise, this Prakriti, size of the Prakriti cannot be measured. Cannot be measured. What happens is, at the time of creation, what the Lord does is, a part of Prakriti is only converted, taken, not the entire Prakriti. Only a portion of the Prakriti is taken, and then that turns into Mahan. Within that, it's like a bubble taken out. This is Prakriti. Consider this a Prakriti, just for the imagination. Imagine like it's a Prakriti, and within Prakriti, a portion is taken, and within that Mahan. Now a smaller circle called Mahan. Within that Mahan, not the entire Mahan, a portion of Mahan turns into Ahankara. Within that Ahankara, a portion of Ahankara turns into Satvika Ahankara, Rajasa Ahankara, Tamasa Ahankara. From there comes this Pancha Tanmatra, Pancha Bhuta, all those different Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, everything gets produced from there. The whole thing, what we saw now, is all done by the Supreme Lord. And this type of creation, at to this point, is a Samashti Srishti. This creation is called Samashti Srishti. After creating and setting up everything, what happens? There are a lot more details. We are not going to get into that one. After creating this Samashti, doing the Samashti Srishti, what the Lord does is he identifies one Atma of unlimited, innumerable Atma who was in a dormant state, in a waiting state to take birth. He selects only one person out of this entire Atma group. Right? Only one Atma is picked and titles him as Brahma. He gives a position as Brahma. And he tells, start your creation now. I've given everything to you. Now you take over, create creation, secondary Vyashti Srishti. Secondary creation is called Samashti Srishti is done by Krishna. Vyashti Srishti is done by Brahma. This is where Brahma gets into the action of identifying one's karma of each individual, accordingly gives the body based on the ingredients given by Krishna. All the ingredients are there already. Now he has to pull all those things and make a body and ship to this particular Jivatma. This is how the entire creation happens. Now we have seen the Urdhva Loka, Madhya Loka, Ardha Loka, and the coverings of the universe. And now Prabhupada says, above this, there is a spiritual world. Right? Now, please understand the Prakriti has no measure. We cannot measure the Prakriti. We understood that one. Only limitation to Prakriti is it can go indefinitely to the right side. It can go indefinitely to the left side. It can go indefinitely to the downward, bottom. But there is a stop on the top. There's a stop on the top. There's something which is stopping it to go beyond that point. That is called Viraja river. Viraja Nadi, a river which divides the spiritual world and the material world. The Prakriti cannot go beyond, above the Viraja river. And above the Viraja river starts the spiritual world. Spiritual world. Same thing. The spiritual world can go unlimitedly on the right side, on the left side, on the top. There's a stop in the bottom. You can understand, right? Have a shell and cut the shell, and you can see its top and the bottom. Right? Like the top considered the spiritual world, bottom considered to be the material world. The bottom is also called as Leela Vibhuti, and the top one is called Nitya Vibhuti. Vibhuti, opulences. Opulence. There's a spiritual world. It is said, Purmadim Divyalokam Tadumani Maya Mandapam Tatra Desham Tasmin Dharmati Pitam Tatpari Kamalam Chamagra Graginischa Vishnu Devi Vibhushaya Yuda Ganagamurakam Padike Vainateyam Senesham Dwarapalan Kumadamukan Vishnu Bhaktan Prapatye. This is a beautiful sloka which says about how is the spiritual world, what happens over there. We are only talking, we're not getting into the details of, Vaikunta, Mathura, Ayodhya, Mathura, Goloka, and we are not going all those details here. That's not the purpose of this. I'm just giving an idea of the spiritual world. That's all. Okay. This one talks about the Vaikunta Loka. How is it? It said, Kurmadin Divya Lokam. The Vaikunta has made, within the Vaikunta, within the spiritual world, let's talk about spirit. Within the spiritual world, there are different lokas. In the universe, we saw lokas, 14 lokas. Right? We saw, like that in the spiritual world also, there are unlimited lokas. Loka for Kurma Deva, Varaga Deva, Narasimha Deva, many lokas are there. According to one's bhakti and devotion, they go to respective lokas. Kurmadin, Divya Lokam. Tadanu Manimaya Mandapam. And all these lokas has beautiful mandapam, mansions, beautiful mansions. It's all made of Ratna, Vaidhurya, Manika, pearls, or different diamonds, all the different things are there. Now, Tatra Sesham, and there present, the Shesha means Adi Shesha. Adi Shesha is present there. Tasmin Dharmati Pitam. Over there, there's a Pitam. Pitam is throne. Dharmati Pitam. It's called Dharmati Pitam. The name of the Pitam is called Dharma Pitam. Dharma Pitam. There's a throne over there in Vaikunta. Okay, that pin Thadupari Kamalam, which is on a lotus flower. Chamara Grahinischa. Chamara Grahinischa means this throne is surrounded by many great souls or eternally liberated, they are doing chamara. Chamara. To the throne, just for the empty throne? No, let's continue. Now, Vishnu, that's what it is. Not to the empty throne, they are doing chamara. Someone is sitting on the throne, that is Vishnu. Vishnu is sitting on the throne and surrounded by these great souls, they keep chamara, doing chamara. And not only is alone, Devi. Devi means he is with his Devi, Bhudevi, Neela Devi, Sri Devi, like that, many Devis. He is seated with it. Vibhusha Ayudha Gana Murakam. Is not empty-handed, is Ayudha Gana Murakam. Means he have Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and many Ayudhas. Paduke, Vaina, Paduke means is Padukas, is literally offensive to say shoe or chapel, but that's what it is for our understanding, for us to understand. And Paduke, the Lord's footwear. That's a decent way of saying footwear. Vainateyam. Vainateyam is a son of Vinata Sutta. That is Garuda. Garuda is Vainateyam. Vainateyam. Senesham Adishesha. Dwarapalan Kumuda Mukan. Dwarapalan Kumuda Mukan. Kumuda Mukan. Dwarapalaka means the doorkeepers, the guards, and starting from Kumuda, all those things. Kumuda, Jaya Vijaya, and many. Now, Vishnu Bhaktan, not only them, there are also many devotees, Vishnu Bhakta, many devotees liberated who were one point of time in this material world, and then they went back to the spiritual world. So they are also present there. So that's the sloka. So, Kurmadin, Divyalokam, Tadumani Maya Mandapam, Tatra Desham, Tasmin, Dharmati Pitam, Tatpari Kamalam, Chamagraginischa, Vishnum Devi, Vishaya, Yuda Kanamarakam, Padike, Vainateyam, Senesham, Dwarapalan, Kumudamukanara, Vishnu Bhaktan, Prapatye. That's about the spiritual world. That covers part one, a portion of purport. We'll move on to the second portion of the purport. Okay, if you have any questions, please write it down and we'll talk about that later. Definitely we'll finish by 9 o'clock. Is it okay? Are you all okay?
Yes.
Online?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Purport. So next part of the purport says, Sri Narada Muni could enter all these planets in both material and spiritual spheres without restriction, as much as the Almighty Lord is free to move personally in any part of the creation. So the question is, how can Narada Muni travel all these different places? Prabhupada says, as the purpose continues, in the material world, the living beings are influenced by the three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, ignorance. Therefore, answer is residing there, we cannot travel. We cannot travel, as simple as that. Prabhupada is giving the answer right there. It's just hidden there. We have to understand. Right? Because we are influenced by the three modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, we cannot travel. Why are we influenced by the three modes? Just like that. Why we have to be influenced by the three modes? Why the three modes have to influence us, sometimes to be good, sometimes to be bad, sometimes to be dull? Why this constantly happening? Based on what? That you are active now, I am dull now. It's not the same program happens to everyone at the same time, right? Between 7:30 to 9, Krishna Balaram Mandir, or anyone is online, everyone must be Sattva Guna, in Sattva Guna. Everyone must be in Rajoguna. It's not like everyone is the same thing at all the time, right? Everyone has a different. Why is that? Based on what? Based on what? Sometimes some people are in goodness, sometimes in passion, sometimes are in what drives that?
Previous impression.
And karma. Karma vasana. Based on the karma vasana, the three modes plays with us. So we cannot connect to the point. Narada could travel all over the places beyond the sphere. We cannot do because we are influenced by the three modes. That means Narada must not be influenced by the three modes. Why are we influenced by the three modes? Because we have karma vasana. That implies that Narada does not have karma vasana. Make sense? Does not have karma vasana. Now, let's continue. The purport, but that's what Prabhupada says, but Sri Narada Muni is transcendental to all these material modes, and thus he can travel everywhere unrestricted. He is liberated spaceman. Even the Superman that we saw in the movie, he cannot go to different planets, by the way. Believe it or not. If you have not watched the Superman movie, please, I will not say go watch now. But wherever the Superman is flying is within this America. I never seen a Superman coming to India also. Seriously, have you seen any of his latest version where he traveled to China, India? He's always flying only within America. They are their own. We have our spaceman, Hanuman, who can fly within India. But anyway, so, but in Ramayana, it's quite interesting to know that when Sugriva sends his army, his people to find Mother Sita, you will have to read in Kishkinda Kanda the places that he mentions. He goes all over the planets, all the different planetary system, all the dvipas, everywhere. He mentions everything. That means those monkeys were so powerful, they can travel all dvipas, all planetary system. All planetary system. So anyway, so let's continue. This is the third part. Second part we saw, and we are going to move on to the third part, where the purport says, this is a quite important thing of the purport. The causeless mercy of Lord Vishnu is unparalleled, and such mercy is perceived by the devotees only by the grace of the Lord. Therefore, the devotees never fall down, but the materialists, that is, the fruity workers and the speculative philosophers, do fall down, being forced by their respective modes of nature. This is Prabhupada's unique style of bringing topics on the karmis and jnanis. You can see this. These Prabhupada's purpose, as we can read, some of the repeated things that he always addresses and try to make it clear is that don't become a karmi, don't become a jnani, don't become a mayavadi. Yes? Often he repeats these things in many places, many places. So, is in his own beautiful, unique style, Prabhupada says that it is causeless mercy of Lord Vishnu is unparalleled. That mercy is perceived by the devotees only by the grace of the Lord. Therefore, you see here, this is an important thing. As I'm reading, I'm just thinking of something here. The causeless mercy of Lord Vishnu cannot be paralleled. I can show a causeless mercy if I walk on the street and I see a poor man. That poor man has not done anything to me, but I go and give him a packet of loaf of bread. And the poor man is saying, what a causeless mercy. What a causeless mercy. I also performed an act, which is causeless mercy. Yes or no? What Prabhupada says that, yes, you can also perform a causeless mercy, but the Lord's mercy is unparalleled. Cannot be equal to a loaf of bread. Cannot be unparalleled. We'll understand more deeper, and that's where we'll spend most of the time for the rest of this time that we have. And such mercy is perceived by the devotee only by the grace of the Lord. Okay. Now, let's focus on this Anugraha Mahavishnu. Anugraha, that's a third pada of the sloka. Anugraha Mahavishnu, right? That says that Anugrahan Mahavishnu, by the grace of the Almighty Vishnu. Antar Bhagishya Lokamstin, Paryebhis Skandita Vrataha, Anugrahan Mahavishnu, Avigata Gatis Kvachit. So, Narada did not say that I am able to travel to all these places. I was reading different commentaries on this particular sloka from different acharyas of different schools of thoughts. They all have an interesting idea. Some say that this particular Paryabhyas Skandita Vrataha, they are picking on this particular word, saying Skandita Vrataha. That means because of his staunch following of Brahmacharya. Narada is a Brahmachari. Because of his celibacy, strict following of celibacy, he was able to travel. That is one type of commentary. Another type of commentary says, no, it is just because of the Anugraham, mercy of the Lord, he was able to travel. Right? Another type of commentary says, no, it's a combination of both. That is because of his effort. What is his effort? He strictly followed Brahmacharya, And by the mercy of the Lord, he was able to travel all over the places. Which one do you all support? First one is effort. Second one, God's mercy. Third one, both involved. Which one do you all pick? Third one is one's effort as well as God's mercy, correct? That's what we all think, right? That is nice. But there is another important point to connect all these things. What is it? It is important that we all have to put our effort in devotional service, in whatever we are trying to do, and wait for Lord's mercy. That is also true. And Lord will provide us mercy. At the same time, we should understand the effort that we did or we performed is not of our own strength. That is also mercy of the Lord. That is where the slight thin difference comes. Yes, my effort is needed. God's mercy is needed. Therefore, with my effort, I will get up Mangalarti. With my effort, I will chant my rounds very nicely, attentively. With my effort, I'll follow Ekadeshi Vrata without doing fasting, Nirjal Ekadeshi. With my effort, I will study all 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita. I'll get Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav and everything. With my effort, I'll put the effort, my effort, my effort. But the point is, it is that effort that you're putting is not because of your strength. That is also mercy of the Supreme Lord. That's where the thin line, if we fail to apply that, then we miss that opportunity. And we get into the same problem of mind, I, ahankara and mamakara comes into the picture. Therefore, we carefully have, this is how that, this is why we call this as Satvika Ahankara. Satvika Ahankara means, yes, I did, but by the mercy of the Lord. Lord gave me the strength to do this. Otherwise, who am I to do all these things? I cannot do any of these things. It's just he picked me, he chose me, he gave everything that's needed for me to perform this one. Therefore, I am doing this one. I did not do anything otherwise. That's an important thing to understand. Now, a question, second question comes within this Anugraha and Mahavishnu. We say that this Anugraham, costless mercy, this topic on the costless mercy. If God is costless and is not expecting any cost to show his mercy, it's quite interesting. Then why do we see difference in the world? Why everyone is not initiated yet? Why everyone is not chanting Hare Krishna? Why not everyone happy? Why not everyone be healthy? We see the differences. That too, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshtina priyaha. Doesn't Krishna say, Samoham sarva bhuteshu, I'm equal to everyone. Name dveshti, I don't hate anyone. It's like we have favorite ones, and then we have, don't want to go to that guy at all. That I want to keep a distance with that person. We have favorite and unfavorite one. We have friends and we have enemies. When Krishna says, Samoham sarva bhuteshi, name dveshti no priyaha. There's no anyone as a favorite, no hatred, nothing. Well, then if that is the case, what's happening in the world? Why don't you be equal to everyone? Why don't you give everyone moksha? Why don't you take everyone to the world, spiritual world? Why you show different? I think that you're showing differences. How do we understand this sloka? Let's understand. It's not what Krishna is not saying here, that he doesn't see differences. What he's saying that whoever comes to him, surrendered to him, be so they are rich man or poor man, be so they are learned or illiterate, be so they are handsome or ugly, they are Brahmana or Shudra, whether they are a human or animal, whether they are tall or short, whether fat or thin, whether fair or dark, he doesn't show any difference. He treats them all equal when they surrender to him. Makes sense? In that sense, he makes differences. Therefore, we can understand that when anyone comes to Krishna, surrendering to Krishna, he doesn't see, is he a monkey? Is he a hunter? Is he a Rakshasa? Or is he a Brahmana, Pandit? He doesn't see. You surrender to me, that's all matters for me. I don't see any different. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. Among those who sarva bhuteshu means here, Among those all who surrender to me, I treat them all equal. That's how we should understand. Now, Tamaham Sarvabhuteshu. Not based on the jati, not based on their guna, not based on their education, not based on their akara, their nature and their appearance. None of those really doesn't matter for him. He accepts anyone and everyone. Now, one point I will tell, and then we'll see the last part and we can conclude. This costless mercy technically is told there are two groups of people who fight among each other and debates among each other. That is, God's mercy is nirhetuka. Nirhetuka. Nirhetuka means is costless. Nirhetuka. Hetu means some cost. Nirhetuka means nirhetuka kripa. Nirhetuka means costless mercy. Next is sahetuka kripa. Sahetuka cost mercy. Some people say you have to work hard to get mercy of the Lord. Some say, God, you don't need to do anything. God will provide us mercy. That is nirhetuka. I don't need to do anything. God will take care of me. I don't need to put anything. That is nirhetuka. Sahetuka means, no, I have to work something to gain the mercy of the Lord. So these are two different viewpoints and two different groups have their ideas like this. Now, how to understand this one? Which is right? Which is right? Now, consider, let's talk about a scenario here. I'm just coming up with a scenario. Say a boy, a man, and he has no devotion at all. He has no devotion, nothing. Never been to temple, never heard any good words, never heard chanted, nothing is done. He has cows. And as he was grazing the cow and going on the streets, one of the cow ran away. And this man was chasing to get hold of the cow. And the cow ran into the temple. And he was chasing the temple. And the cow ran around the temple. And this man was running around the temple chasing the cow. And finally, the cow came out. He caught the cow and went back. This is the incident happened. The Lord within the heart watches. He says, he did devotional service to me today. He marks it down. Marks it down. He did parikrama, circumlated my temple. And he makes a tick over there. That starting point, a tick makes that. Once the tick has been made, then everything comes faster after that point. When the Lord makes the tick, everything becomes very fast. He gets the sadhu's association, the faith develops, and sadhu's association comes, and then he works on every different things, and anartha nibriti, and then he gets into the ruchi, and then prema. All those things comes very fast after that. But what did this man do to get the mercy of the Lord? By himself, intentionally? Did he do anything? I want to go and circumnavigate the temple. He did that one? He didn't do that. But the Lord, costlessly, for him, according to this man, the Lord gave a costless mercy upon him. Yes, agreed? Agreed. Therefore, according to me, I'm not a devotee. Accidentally, without any intention, accidentally I circumlated the temple. The Lord gave me the mercy. Nirhetuka kripa. Correct? Nirhetuka kripa. But if change the scenario now. If the cow that I'm chasing went into the casino, not to the temple, it went to the casino. I'm chasing the cow and circumlating the casino and coming out. Will the Lord make a tick? Think about it. Yes or no?
No.
Obvious question, answer, right? Is not, oh, he circumlated the casino, make a tick.
But we take care of the cow.
Yeah.
Let's not get into too much analytical thing into cow and all those things. Please understand, stick on to this point here. Okay. Now, did he make tick for that man, not the cow? Cows, they always leave it to the cow side now. I want to tell this one because Gopesh Prabhu, you said this one. I have to tell this one.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah. So here, there's in India, there is a way where they take the water from the well. In the field, what they do, there's a big field, and the farmer, what he does is they tie something on the cow, and the cow walks back to the well, and then the whole rope goes down and gets the water, and cows walk in the front, and when the water comes out, it pours the water to the field. That happens like this. So the man should keep watching. And then what he did was, to make sure the cow is doing its job, he put a bell on the neck of the cow. So that means what? He can do other work. He doesn't need to focus here whether the cow does or not. Because as the cow moves, he can hear the sound. That means the cow is doing its job. So he can continue something. One philosopher came, Professor Gopeshwar. Just pulling you. One great man came. He is very philosophical. He came. He said, "Why are you not watching the cow, whether it's doing or well? I put the bell on the neck of the cow. So when it makes sound, I know it's doing the job." And that man said, "What in case the cow is standing on one place and doing dong, dong, dong like this? What in case that?" And the man said, he is not a philosopher. The cow is not a philosopher like you who can think like that. Is simple. Is simple by heart, therefore he doesn't think complicated. Just wanted to add, nothing to do with this. So now let's continue this one. Therefore, the man, when he goes around the casino, the Lord is not making the tick. That means what? According to him, he's expecting something from us. Something. It doesn't need to be a great thing. Not that everyone becomes a sannyasi today to get the mercy of Krishna. He's expecting little, one step, just little effort you put. As we all keep hearing, we take one step, Krishna takes 10 steps, 100 steps. He's just expecting just one step, knowingly or unknowing. Therefore, what Prabhupada did is amazing. None of them will come forward to do anything devotional service knowingly. We go out to them and let them hear. Let them know what is Bhagavad Gita. Let them hear about Hare Krishna Mahamaya. Just imagine what Prabhupada has done to the world. That tick, for Krishna to put the tick, is what Prabhupada has taken all the effort to leave India in that age, in the ripened age, to come to America to make Krishna to put that tick to every one of us. Once the tick happens, then he is in a good shape. For us, we may think he's coming to the temple, he's not initiated it, he's not doing this one. That's our problem. We always see in the material standard the progress. But Krishna is happy. As soon as the tick is made, it's in Krishna's hands now. He will make sure that person gets out of this world. It's just a matter of time. That completes the third part. And then the last part is very short one. I'll read the last part of the purport. The rishis, as above mentioned, cannot enter into the transcendental world like Narada. This fact is disclosed in the Narasimha Purana. Rishi like Marichi are authorized in fruitive work, and rishis like Sanaka and Sanatana are authorized in philosophical speculation. So Prabhupada says that even great souls like Marichi, not Maricha, Maricha is different. This is Marichi, is a rishi. Marichi and even Sanat Kumaras and therefore they are also having a lot of difficulties. They were all initially Sanat Kumaras philosophically jnana yogis. Then they became devotees. But Narada Muni doesn't fall into any of these categories. He is great beyond any of them. Therefore, he was able to travel all different places without any problems. Okay. So what we saw so far is how Prabhupada has classified this entire universe, the entire creation, into 4 parts: the upper planet, middle planet, lower planet, and that is covered as an andam called universe, and that is covered by material elements of water, fire, air, akasha, ahankara, mahan, and then prakriti. And then that's above that is spiritual world, Narada Muni can travel anywhere here and there, no problem for him to travel. Why he can do that? Because he is under the complete mercy of Krishna, and also he is appreciating the mercy he received by practicing what has been received. He is not just telling, let the mercy come, I will do nothing. He also, the mercy is received, and whatever he is trying to do, he appreciates and gives a credit to Krishna that because of you, I'm able to do this one. With this understanding, he was able to travel all over different places. And that is the glory of Narada Muni. It's not a self-glorification, as I said earlier. It is out of humility that Narada Muni has been asked by Vyasadeva to speak of his credentials. Therefore, he spoke out of Satvika Hankara, so that we all can also understand how we can practice devotional service and understand the Nirhetika Kripa, how to apply that causeless mercy by putting our own effort, and even that effort is the mercy of the Lord, and help others to also come into Krishna consciousness. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. We can start having some discussion questions. Yes, Prabhu.
When you're telling the distances in the material universe, so somewhere fifth canto I was reading that the diameter of the universe is 4 billion miles, but yours is more than 4. It goes to huge. I will check again.
Yeah, please check. But it's different books has different numbers also sometimes.
Right.
Even within the Bhagavatam, you can find difference of how Varaha they've killed Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. There are differences. Some slight differences will be there. Maybe that could be from a different universe.
Yeah,
who knows? We don't know that. Yeah.
And one more point is that when Brahma came to see Krishna in his Leela, Brahma Vibhavan Leela, Krishna is which Brahma? Then Brahma was surprised, what is this? And Krishna got all the different Brahmas. One Brahma with 1 lakh heads, 100,000 heads, 50,000 heads. So I was wondering if the universe is of the same dimension, in millions of universes, there's how different Brahmas.
You should.
There is Chaturmukha Brahma, there's some like that, just wondering. So this dimension may be of this universe, probably, what you say. Probably. You should in billions of yojanas we cannot.
I don't want to make any assumptions, but I don't know. I know no reference or information given about different universes.
Correct.
In fact, there's no much information given beyond Bhuloka. The Bhuloka details are much, but then what's about the different lokas and about talas, all the details are not accessible to us. So no, not sure how that is, but it is what it is. Different Brahmas have different numbers of head, whatever. In case our Brahma is not Chaturmukha, he had 5 head actually. 5 head actually. Later he became Chaturmukha. One of the head was peeled off by Lord Shiva. He had 5 head. 1 head was peeled off. Yeah. So anyway, anything else?
Just to I sharing. Why the local mountain is there? The local mountain is so huge that it is at Bhagavatam that when sun is rotating around Mount Sumeru, Sumeru is down like this it is. So down it is 32,000 yojanas. On top it is 1 lakh yojanas, and this is 1 lakh yojanas. 84,000 yojanas is above the ground. 16,000 yojanas below the ground, because like we construct a building, half of the building is underground. And there, Prabhupada says the local mountain is why it is because this sun, the sun rays of this universe should not go into other universe.
What is it?
Sun rays of this universe should not travel to other universe. Otherwise, there will be time issue there.
Okay.
So because sun's rays, whole calculation is done with sun's rays. And so when the sun started moving around the Mount Sumeru with only one wheel, the axis on Sumeru is moving around Mount Sumeru. The purpose is very clear. This local mountain is to prevent time traveling to other universe. Such an amazing thing.
But my question, sorry, I'm being like analytical scientist question. But the anta is a shell which is 10 million thick. Where is the sun going to cross over that?
Exactly. But it is mentioned like that. Local mountain.
Sorry, I am not challenging you, but
Agree. Loka mountain, he says.
By the way, on the online, Gopeshwar Prabhu is saying that the mountain, the Loka mountain is so tall, is that's because it prevents the sun rays to go to the other universes. For that reason, there's a mountain is big. This materialistic mind is asking that Anta is 10 million yojana thick. Where is the question of that rays going to go to the other universe? But we don't know where, that's how to answer that. But anyway, anything else, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Let's hear from the online now. Okay, Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful class. So many technicalities. Prabhuji, just a simple question, could you please little bit explain again the difference between Mahat Tattva and Prakriti, and when you are talking about Mahan, is it similar to Pradhan that we usually read in the purports or in Bhagavatam or anything?
Sometimes the Prakriti is, Pradhana is sometimes referred as Prakriti, Mula Prakriti. Therefore, the Mahan is different from Prakriti. And from each of this, there are certain quality also comes into this, and that goes into the living entities. There are a lot of details on this one, but yes, to simple answer is that's a Pradhana, Prakriti, Mula Prakriti and Pradhana are pretty similar, same. And underneath that is this Mahat Tattva, Mahan.
Mahat Tattva and Mahan is same?
Yes. Yes.
So is it in manifested state or unmanifested state? Prakriti is the manifested state, right? The material world, I guess.
At the time of dissolution, everything is unmanifested except a Prakriti which is there. In the Prakriti, the three gunas are there. Prakriti has three gunas. Otherwise, you won't get the gunas until our body. The body is a product of Prakriti, right? Therefore, our body has the gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. But Sattva, Rajas, Tamas in our body varies every single time. Sometimes Sattva guna high, sometimes Rajo guna is high. Other two are down. Like that happens at the time of manifested state. In unmanifested state, the Prakriti, as these three gunas, will be of same level. Before the creation, it's of the same level. When before the creation, Prakriti exists, the Prakriti will have the three gunas, but there is no upper which is higher, which is lower. It's all in the one state. When the thing starts happening, agitated, then Mahan. And then that from their point onwards, the Prakriti the guna starts varying over there.
Oh, I see. Okay. So from unmanifested state to Mahan, and then from Mahan to Prakriti, right? I mean, this is a...
No. Avyaktam. Avyaktam is called Prakriti. Prakriti is called Mula Prakriti. That Mula Prakriti is also referred as Pradhana. And from that Pradhana, a portion of Pradhana becomes Mahan. That portion of Mahan becomes Ahankara. And from Ahankara, Satvika Ahankara, Rajasa Ahankara, Tamasa Ahankara. Rajasa Ahankara does nothing, just stays there. It activates as Tamasa Ahankara and Satvika Ahankara. From Satvika Ahankara, the mind comes. Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya comes. From the Tamasa Ahankara comes Pancha Tanmatra, Pancha Bhuta. That makes it all together 24 elements. You add all this thing together, it becomes 24. And the 25th is Jivatma.
Yeah.
26th is Paramatma. Again, this number varies even in the Bhagavatam, but keep it simple. 24 elements makes Sankhya, the math, the numbers. 25th is Jivatma, 26th is Paramatma.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Did you get answer or did not answer your question?
You answered, Prabhuji. Yeah. If needed, I will discuss it later as well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Quick question, Prabhu. How to understand or what causes an individual's hatred towards a section of people or section of society?
Vasanas. If you see the question, Krishna Prasad is asking a question: what defines a person's nature of liking some people and disliking some people? Correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. You see, you're watching a cricket match.
Mm.
India, Pakistan is playing. Okay. When you're watching the cricket match, you being an Indian, right? Whom you want to win? Whom do you like to win the match? See the match being won?
India.
Okay, that's obvious, right? But then Pakistan wins.
That's fine. I don't hate them.
No. I'm giving an example. I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay, Prabhu.
We're not talking about cricket match here. I'm giving an example in our level so that we can understand where it all comes from.
Okay.
When Pakistan wins, okay, I assume, just make an assumption that throughout that day, you'll be thinking about Pakistan. Why that guy? Why that guy? Why that guy? And you'll start hating the Indian team, saying that this guy did not play well, that guy did not play well, that guy did play well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
Prabhu.
imagine, I don't want to put you as an example now. Imagine that I am in that consciousness because you don't hate Pakistan, you don't take Russia and things. Imagine, I'm hating. And after the match, I'm going home. As I'm going and driving my bike, I'm going thinking about Pakistan, why this guy, what that guy does, and hatred towards India. A truck comes and hits me. I die. Whom I was mostly thinking of? Pakistan. Why this? How can this guy is? How can? And next lifetime I'll be born in Pakistan.
Make it.
And once I born Pakistan, obviously I didn't like Indians losing the game. I hated it. Therefore, that's going to continue as a vasana in my next life. Now I hate Indians. I'm just giving a crude example here. It is just because of our karma and vasana, we start liking some people, we start disliking some people. We like some type of food, we don't like some type of food.
Okay.
Everything is because of our karma vasanas that we carry. But that does not mean that we have to blame the karma vasana and try to say that is how I am. Because of my karma vasana, I cannot become a devotee. People will also have an argument. Because of my karma vasana, I cannot become a devotee. Well, that is true if you are a matter. Matter means what? Who doesn't have consciousness? But God has given you consciousness. Along with the consciousness is also given a very important attribute called swatantriyam. Swatantriyam is free will, independent. Independently make a free choice of what you want to do. Yes, I am bad. Now God has given my free will and some leverage to exercise my free will. Let me also try to become good. If you are not thinking like that, then the next lifetime God is telling, I gave you intelligence, I gave you free will, you're not making use of it, that become a lower end species.
Ado
gachanti tamasa.
Okay.
Does it help?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. That from our discussion point of view, that helps. The next birth, the vasanas are impacting the behavior of the person, and based on that vasanas, they are going to fall down. That part is clear to me. Yeah, that part is clear. But I see when I get this question, when I see so much of hatred in social media, sometimes against a section of people, some people, yeah, it's basically what you said, Prabhu.
Yeah. Therefore, what Prabhupada was trying to do is distribute books, diffuse Harinam to everyone. So even those people can change. That's what Prabhupada has done very easily. As simple
Okay.
as.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Madhuri Prabhu, yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. A lot of technical details, like Priya Mataji said. Prabhu, is there any? Now we hear. I think Gopeshwar Prabhu asked a similar question. There's mention of different universes having different Brahma. Is there only one Narada Muni for the entire creation, or because he is able to travel everywhere, right?
Very beautiful question. Beautiful question. Please understand. Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, as you all know, post. Right? Narada is not a post. Narada is not a post. Therefore, is a person who can travel any part of the universe, anywhere, wherever he wants. Okay, Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
I was just thinking about the same question while I was driving and coming. You asked this question. Thank you. Okay, it's if you all permit, we can conclude here. It's 9:05. Thank you all very much for joining us. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhu bhaveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavandi ki jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai, Krishna Balaram ki jai, Nitai Gaur Nataraj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all assembled devotees ki jai. Hari Bol. Hope I didn't bore you all with all these technical details, but I think we have to.
Very interesting, Prabhu.
We have to get these things also sometimes. Otherwise, just stories is good, but we have to learn more. Thank you. Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Hey, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.